Okay. Let's start by introducing yourself. What is your name and what do you do here at the squad?
I'm Alea Petersen, and I'm the marketing coordinator here. So that means that I manage all of the marketing efforts for our ongoing program clients, but especially their special campaigns and projects from start to finish. That could be just a very specific strategy we're trying to implement. It could be a content offer or a special promotion that we're going to full all efforts, no holds bar to fulfill that promotion for them, like creating landing pages and email marketing, social media, all things pointing to what that client's goals are. So.
Why do you enjoy working?
I like working here because it's just a really great environment of collaborating amongst a bunch of different people with different talents, but still a lot of similarities as far as how they like to have fun and that they just really get the value of storytelling and great service to a client. So there's just a common-mindedness, but there's also just a unique blend of specialties, and so the team environment is really one of the greatest ones, but then also the values of this company and the way that they promote people thriving even in their own lives outside of work.
Where are you from?
I was born in South Carolina, but raised in Western Kentucky, and then I call Louisville home I've called it home for over 10 years when I came here to go to U of L.
What did you want to be when you were a kid?
I wanted to be first an archaeologist like Indiana Jones. Then I wanted to be a musician, a singer of some type, because I've always been involved in music. But more seriously, when I was in college, I was interested in either law or public affairs, public relations, which slowly kind of led me to the career I'm in now.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be?
I always say the beach. Right now, though, I'm leaning towards Italy. The history, the art, the food, the lifestyle, it would be amazing.
If you could swap places with anyone on the squad for a day, who would it be?
Should I say you, Taylor?
Say that.
I'm going to say Judd because I've already talked about this before. I would love to be super technical, but it produced something beautiful and creative. I love that combination. So he gets to work from his little place in Charlotte and know all these great things like understanding Photoshop and Illustrator and just design in general, and then he gets to create something beautiful.
What's the funniest joke you know?
My grandfather told me this one. So, and I'll preface it again that obviously there's been a lot of flooding going on in Texas and things like that, and it's very serious, but it's a flood joke. So there was this farmer sitting on his porch, and there was a lot of flooding kind of a little ways from his house, and a car drove by and stopped in front of him and said, I'm trying to go up that way, but it looks like there's a good bit of water. Do you think it's okay for me to drive through? You think I'll be able to make it? And he said, oh yeah, you'll be able to make it. So the car drives through really fast and instantly sinks and completely covered with water, and makes it out of his car, swims back to where it's shallow, walks up to the farmer and is angry and says, you said it was shallow. I completely lost my car. It's flooded. It's gone. And you said it was shallow. And the farmer says, well, a duck went by just a little bit ago and it just went up to here on him. And that's my grandfather's joke right there.
Let's see, what is the best concert you've ever been to?
Man, I've seen some iconic people like B.B. King before he died. I saw him like a year before that, and so obviously he's like one of the kings. But I would say Zach Brown Band is one of the most entertaining, fun, just writes really good music, good fiddle, good guitar. And so I saw him once at a festival here in Louisville, and back when Dave Matthews was cool. Later on, Dave Matthews was playing, and Zach Brown band came up, and both bands played together, and they jammed out like crazy, and it was just a really awesome night. They played All Along the Watchtower, which is Jimi Hendrix, so it was just like a classic night.
That's pretty cool. What's the best meal you've ever eaten?
My favorite meal pretty much any time is a filet mignon. So Ruth's Chris Steakhouse filet mignon is probably my favorite meal.
What are you currently binge watching?
I'm going back through The Office again, and a show called Younger, but The Office at least once a year I go through it.
What's the coolest thing you're working on right now?
I feel like I get to do so many different things for different clients, but one client in particular is about to have a big event, and along hand in hand with it, they have produced a new piece on their site that is geared toward a specific target customer, and we want it to just be really interactive and have a lot of value and resources to those clients. So I feel like it's kind of been a really cool, big project, and a lot of different aspects to it though, but we produced it, and I feel like when I see something at the end of it and it just all comes through the way I envisioned, that's like really exciting for me. But another thing I'm getting to do now is help with some special projects, like a branding design project and a new site for one of our clients, and so I'm getting to dabble a little bit more too in, like, I guess, the design aspect, and so that's really fun for me too.
Who is your least favorite superhero?
How'd you think of that question?
I think it was Brooks.
That is such a weird way to think about something. I guess I have to think about a character that annoys me. I'm thinking about that. Oh my goodness, I'm not as big a fan of Batman. I really like the villains out of Batman more than I like Batman, so maybe that. I'll say my favorite's probably the Flash. He goes super fast. I really like that. Even so much fast that he can go a building, which is kind of like Spider-Man or somebody flying. He can turn back time with his speed. I mean, so he's every superhero just out of his speed. That's pretty amazing.
Good point.
Yeah.
What do you order at a coffee shop?
Iced coffee. No sweetener, just a little bit of cream or milk.
What was the worst pet you've ever had?
That's hard to say too. Probably my fish that died the first day I got it. It's kind of sad.
Are you a plant person?
Yes, I wouldn't say I'm the best at taking care of them, but I do love succulents. I love fresh flowers, like in my home, like in a vase, and I finally have learned to take care of an orchid and get it to regrow. That took like 10 years of my life to learn that, but.
It's a big one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is your best Halloween costume?
Okay. My husband and I, when we were just dating, got really good of thinking of like the couple's costumes, and one year we were Bonnie and Clyde, like straight up 1920s. He even had an unloaded handgun, like old-fashioned one, which scared everybody at the party we were at. And so that kind of thing, and we've been Mario and Luigi. So I would say those costumes with him. Oh, I will say that every one of those were picked and put together the day of Halloween, because we're not very good at thinking of them ahead of time. So that also makes it all the more impressive.
Do you have a personal blog?
I do. I need to use it more. Right now it's called Waffles and Whimsy. But I think I might have to rebrand and change the name, because in general I don't want it to sound like it's a breakfast blog only. It's really about like daily life adventures, like, and including when you go to a nice brunch spot and stuff like that. But I'm trying to shift it a little. I would love to talk more about travel, because even though I don't travel as much as I want to, in my short life I've gotten to do some really cool things, some vacations, some mission trips from all the way to Asia to South America. So I'd love to be able to talk about that.
Are you right or left-handed?
Right-handed.
What have you waited in line for the most?
Like my longest experience?
Yeah, okay.
Or what do I get in line for more often?
The longest is what I meant. Okay, let me... what have you waited in line for the longest?
I do not like waiting in line, so it's hard for even me to remember waiting in line. Probably a roller coaster. When like the Six Flags that I've been to throughout the U.S., like Georgia, the Atlanta one, I don't even know if that's still open, but I waited for probably 2 hours for some of those rides. I don't know why either, because I hate waiting in line.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
I kind of lost her on that.